All right, Aaron Parker, Parker Safes and Vaults, Shelbyville, Tennessee. Today we'll have a look at electronic locks and maybe a couple things you can do to troubleshoot if you're having some problems with those. The first thing I would say is read the manual. So there's a lot of different locks out there, and they're all just a little bit different on how they operate or how you change the battery and all that. So make sure you read the manual. That'd be the first thing I would say. Then secondly is replace the battery. And even if you think you've done a recent battery replacement or something like that, make sure that it's a fresh alkaline battery. You can even go to the store and check the expiration dates on the battery. So that'd be the first thing I would do in this case. And a lot of them are different. Some of them have a little gate down here where you slide it across, and they're almost always a 9-volt or 2 9-volts, but they'll drop out of here in a little kind of a little housing and replace the battery. This one bumps up, and so it bumps up from the bottom, and then you can get in. Then there's a name brand alkaline battery. So always use a name brand alkaline unless your instructions call for something different. But most of the time, the new lithium batteries and things like that could cause a problem where it doesn't open up. So alkaline battery, name brand. And then secondly is just if we're having problems with the lock, like everything's working, maybe you get your double beeps like it says in the instructions, but it's still just not opening up, check your handle. So sometimes if you hold pressure one way or the other while you're operating the keypad and entering your code, that might help a little bit, because sometimes what happens is, I'll just open this up real quick. Sometimes what happens is we get contents in the bottom of the safe or along the sides, or in other words, a little bit of pushback against the door, and it's just pushing things back to where maybe you're not locked all the way. So if there's all different types, right? But if it's not all the way shut, right, then that'll, in other words, if the bolts aren't thrown all the way, if they're not fully extended, that could give us some problems too. If we're still having problems, you can retract that a little bit. So try to find, like, there's usually a little slot where the locking bolt comes down. And so maybe there's too much pressure the other way. So you can hold a little bit of pressure the other way. So try that, and you got to do that while you're entering the code. So we're going to hold a little pressure, enter the code. You can also push in on the door, right? So like we're going to push in kind of hard. And if there's anything pushing back, sometimes that'll give us a little bit of space and allow the lock to work. But other than that, boy, if those things don't work, you read the manual, replace the battery with an alkaline name brand battery, and usually the battery that comes with the safe is the way you want to stay. I don't think it makes much difference, but that's generally been my rule. If it comes with an Energizer, use an Energizer. If it comes with a Duracell, then use a Duracell. But aside from that, if that doesn't get it, then try the pressure thing all the way around, and if that doesn't get it, after that you probably have to make a call. The one last thing you could try to do if your safe isn't bolted down is jockey it around. And I mean, so I'm rocking this safe back and forth, right? And sometimes if there's contents in there that have jammed, pushing a lot of pushback against the bolts or something like that, that'll let you kind of trade a little bit of freedom in there, and you enter the code again, and it just works that time. If you get it open, always test it 5 or 6 times before you shut the door again, because the worst thing is to finally get it open and then you shut it again, you're back to the same spot. So if there's a problem, maybe have someone come look at it, a safe tech or a locksmith, and but if you get it open and there's still a problem, leave the door open, right? So leave the door open and call someone. All right, I hope that helps. I appreciate you having a look. If you like the video, then like the video. Thanks.